What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about OnyxCoin today, XCN, USD. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, my friends. It is the 27th of July, and here we are at about 1.62 cents, 21 hours left in the day. We had a little bit of a bullish day yesterday, a little wick to the upside and came back down. 5.5% to the upside, nothing too crazy at all. I'm wondering what OnyxCoin did as far as volume. Let's see, XCN. Because yesterday was a little day up, right? I wouldn't be surprised if it was more than the day that we had to the downside. That's about the same, right? That's probably about the same. That's about 6%. So maybe not about the same, but nonetheless, isn't it crazy? We had the same volume on this day yesterday. 5.5% to the upside as we did on this day where we dropped 11.8%. We dropped basically twice that amount and had the same volume. Isn't it crazy? Right? Maybe not so crazy. The amount of buying pressure versus selling pressure. Nobody wants to sell this thing, man. Nobody, unless they hate money, right? Well, believe me when I tell you, man, I wish I had more OnyxCoin. Here we are at 1.62 cents right now, 21 hours left in the day. If we look at this high here to this low here, come on now. Golden ratio resistance down to the 382, finding support here at the 382. The inevitable is about to happen, which is we are about to break out and see fantastic growth, my friends, in a very short amount of time. Okay, we're looking productive as hell on this Fibonacci retracement right here. The next area to target, to consider, would at least be the 786-886 zone. I don't know why it did that again. 786-886. Something between about 4 cents and 3.3 cents, if not higher. I really wouldn't be surprised if OnyxCoin just tore through this area and took us all the way up to the 1272 or higher. Something that's at about 8.2 cents, if not there, at least 5 cents. That's my personal target area. But at least something in here, maybe we consolidate for a little bit of time, and then we continue to rally. But just looking at this here, I'm not expecting OnyxCoin to do anything less than what we saw back here. That was a 260% move. From the current price, if we stopped at the 886, 786 area, that's a 160% move, and then we consolidate. That doesn't sound right. We've got a lot of pent-up aggression. Understand, my friends, we have a lot of pent-up aggression with this thing. We are absolutely going to throttle all of these areas of resistance and go all the way up. I really do think we'll see 8.2 cents. If not there, I mean, I can't really see us stopping at anything less than 5.5 cents, right? At least this standard. We moved up 260% from a low to a high, right? I'm pretty sure, 259%. This move is going to be bigger. So just genuinely, I think we're going to bypass this whole area, go up to 8.22 cents right there, see some kind of fantastic move that's like about a 5x, 5.5x. That it could happen between now and the end of July. It really could happen in that short amount of time. I know it sounds crazy. I know the trolls, the haters, they got me right now, man. They're laughing. They're like, this guy still thinks it can do. You guys, man, 5 days. We got 5 days. It's the 27th, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. 5 days left, right? Need I remind you what we did in 5 days last time was 260%. 260% takes us above that high, by the way. Takes us above that high to 5.5 cents. Here, from a low to a high in 5 days, 1, 2, 3, 4 days later, 555%, right? Here, wasn't that much, wasn't as much as 555, but it was more than 260, I can tell you that. And that took 1, 2, 3, 4 days as well. This thing only knows one pace when it comes to moving up. It's a very fast pace. That's why when we consolidate, it's so boring, it's so long, right? Because if you're not in it for the boring times, you're going to miss those exciting times. And man, when I say exciting, I mean just like this. Just like this. And we're going to move up to 8.2 cents. It could happen by the end of this month of July. Get ready. If not by the end of the month of July, sometime in early August, we should be up in this area. I'd be very surprised if we weren't at least making strides up here, breaking out and seeing prices up here by the end of this month of July, over the coming days, over the next 5 days. But inevitably, we're not just going to stop there. The area, the target area that we have intended for OnyxCoin, that we've done our due diligence on, that makes the most sense to me, at a minimum, would be about a 17x from here, all the way up at 26 cents, to potentially something as high as 32 cents, all the way up at a 21, 22x from here, which is crazy, right? Bananas, absolutely insane. But for this thing, not so much, right? 1886 200 level, it lines up with a bunch of different things. If we're looking at the XCN BTC chart, again, we can do this real quick. XCN BTC. I think we can. I'm going to turn up the performance real quick so that way it doesn't do this. There we go. XCN BTC. And we'll look at it on probably the weekly time frame. Let's do it on the weekly time frame, yeah. Oh my goodness, computer taking so long. Okay, here we go. So if we take this from a high to a low, notice that our 1886 200 area is right here. Okay, right here. Before we go back to the fibs, I want to point out that where we stopped on this last move, this very robust move, look at how long we consolidated. We had a very nice rip. This is versus Bitcoin, not versus dollars, right? XCN USD is worth 1.6 cents. XCN BTC is worth like 6013 Bitcoins, right? This area of resistance was right here at the only consolidation phase that we had from this whole entire crazy move to the downside. It was just a straight, you don't move in straight lines up or down, but damn, man, this thing moved basically in a straight line all the way down. And the one place you had a hiccup is the one place that you stopped at. Does that make sense, right? When we move up higher, are we going to stop here? Are we going to, I mean, well, I guess we could stop there, right there, but I doubt that we do. By the way, first off, I highly doubt that we stop there versus Bitcoin. But even if we do, the minimum target there lines up with like 11 to 15 cents. So even in a pessimistic world of reality for OnyxCoin, 11 to 15 cents would be the minimum target, which still outperforms the average altcoin. I mean, man, 11 to 15 cents. 11 cents right here at the 1414, you probably go just above it. That's a 7x. The 15-cent area, that's a 10x. That's a 10x from here. So if we're going to boo-hoo cry our tears away, we're going to be doing it with some Benjamins, right? Still, even there. It would suck. And I wouldn't say it would suck. It would be, I don't think anybody would be upset with those kind of gains. But whenever you have been preparing and telling yourself that this is where you're going to go, it's a little discouraging whenever you take like half that, right? Absolutely it is. But even then, that's still outperforming the average coin by like double, if not more. So whatever, we'll take what we get. I don't think we're going to stop at 11 to 15 cents, 16 cents. I don't think that's what we're going to do. I'm not talking about this now because I think that's what's going to happen. I'm talking about this now because the only other logical area to stop at, besides where I think this chart's going to go, would be here. But to me, it doesn't make sense. What, we moved up this voluptuously, consolidated this long, and now we're going to get a weak move like that? I don't think so. I think we would see something bigger. And if we see something bigger, where's that price going to be? Where's the next area that makes sense? Would it be here? Would it be somewhere along the way? No, it's not. It could only be in a place that makes sense, which would be here, where you found support twice before. Just like here, when you found resistance right there at support. So if you're not stopping here, it's here. You understand me? And we did this last night where we took this price. I'm not going to do it now because I don't want. I guess we got the Google calculator here. Look, it's that same price, 501872. Look, that's great. I'm glad that I had that up. 501872. Multiply it by $140,000 Bitcoin price. I think Bitcoin's going to be at 140K in the first week of August, let alone by the end of August, guys. I think we're going to be all the way up at 180K. But OnyxCoin and Bitcoin probably don't top off at the same price, right? Bitcoin might hit 180K. OnyxCoin is still moving up. OnyxCoin might hit 26 cents. Bitcoin's still moving up. It hasn't hit 180K yet. What price might it be at? Well, at least 140. I don't think I'm being too optimistic with that. I feel like I'm being conservative with that. At least there is 26 cents. And 26 cents, again, is the minimum target here at the 1886. All right, that's one coincidence. Second coincidence, you line up this area on the XCN BTC chart, and it lines up perfectly with this prior area of support. That's the next coincidence. Third coincidence is that from a low to a high of this move, if you're looking at it for what it is, which is a massive bull flag, absolutely it is. Whether that's the bull flag, whether this is the bull flag, however you want to look at it, you take the low of the pattern. Okay, here's your third coincidence. You take that low from the pattern right there, and it just happens to line up exactly with this level on the Bitcoin chart, right? You put the math in, you plug the numbers in. For $140,000 Bitcoin, it gives you a 26-cent price, goes all the way up to your 1886 here, goes all the way up to your prior support here, your measure move here, and on top of that, here's your fourth coincidence, 1886 there as well. Serendipity. serenity at its finest. I don't even know what to say here, man. I'm falling in love with OnyxCoin all over again, honestly. It's beautiful. It's a miraculous thing that's coming our way, my friends. And anybody who's been buying, who's got the conviction, who's got the you know what's to buy in these boring times, these volatile, boring times, and hopefully not buying the high, hopefully scooping up the lows, DCAing in time and time again, you're going to have the rewards. You're going to come out with the rewards. What if we do 5 zeros, 1872, right? Because that's what the price is, right? 5 zeros, 1872. We do that, and let's say OnyxCoin tops off at when Bitcoin's at 160K. Because again, I don't think they top off at the same price, but something that's a 30-cent price, right? We do that same thing again, and for fun, let's just say that Bitcoin's at 180K, which I doubt, but that's a 34-cent price, 33.7% price, 33.696, right? This thing has a lot of untapped potential. And even at the minimum, let's even do the minimum, just to be pessimistic. Let's say we stop right there. We stop right. We consolidate all this time. We had this massive move up. We got we're going to stop right here. I don't see it happening. We take our high to low here, our 1618s here. If we don't stop, I mean, maybe we stop at that 1886. We stop a little bit above it, maybe. You take a high to low, this overall range. Your 1272s there. You're gonna hit your minimum target and stop there. Like you're not gonna stop there. Where you're gonna go to the 1414 and stop somewhere that doesn't make any sense. You're gonna go to the 1618 and stop somewhere that doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make sense. But okay, let's be pessimistic. That is 6 zeros, I believe. 6 zeros, 8293. 8293. 6 zeros, 82935. Let's be very specific because these are big numbers we're dealing with and small numbers we're dealing with, so you have to be specific. This hold on, guys, hold on. This price times a perceived minimum outcome for Bitcoin, which I think 140K is a perfect perceived minimum outcome. Let's do that. Okay? Equals. I'm being pessimistic here. I'm being as pessimistic, and maybe to the haters, I'm being realistic. And maybe that's not even realistic for you, but I don't know what more you want from me. As pessimistic as I can be, my friends. 11.61 cents. What, you think Bitcoin's not going to be above 140K? You know what I mean? Like, come on. We're going to 180K, guys. At least 160. At least there. But we're being pessimistic with Bitcoin. We're being pessimistic with XCN to Bitcoin. 11.61 cents. Roughly here. That's a 7.5x. And again, I want to be clear as to what I'm saying here. A 7.5x is not the minimum target. That's me being pessimistic. Do you understand the difference, right? Pessimistically, if we do terrible, if we underperform by a large degree, we're only gonna get a 7.5x. Right? Right. You hear me? Right. Let's run it back. Let's do the same thing we did with the other one. Instead of 140K, let's say it's 160K. 13.2 cents. More money, right? At a pessimistic level. This is laughable. And maybe we'll laugh at these prices. I'll be like, oh, I thought we'd go higher. Haha, I guess I was wrong. But we can laugh with our dollar bills in hands, man. 15 cents. 15 cents if we were to go to 180K. And again, these are all that's optimistic for Bitcoin and OnyxCoin to top off at that same time, but it's still pessimistic in the XCN to BTC pair. And again, we're talking about this area because if you don't stop here, the only next area that you could stop at would be here. And if you stop there, we're talking about a 7.5x to potentially a 15-cent price, a 10x. Yeah? Buckle up, boys and girls. Buckle the hell up because it's really not going to be a bumpy ride at all. We're going right through the freaking stratosphere with this thing. It's going to be just like this. And all of your patience, all of your accumulation, all of your little dimes and little dollars that you've put into this thing, or big money too, whatever, it's going to pay off handsomely. It's going to pay off very handsomely. Don't mess it up. And actually, on that note, to anybody who has messed it up, if you've traded your life savings away like some people, if you've Because, man, I've been there before. Oh, man, it's so painful whenever that happens. If you've just gotten into the game and you're investing late, you can make up for it with this one, man. Even at a pessimistic level. If we don't do this, man, I don't know who's going to be more disappointed, you guys or me. If this doesn't happen the way that I think it's going to happen, even at 11 cents, that's disappointing. But if we did anything less than that, man, that would just be so crazy to me. But anything can happen. Anything can happen. You never know. Nothing's promised. But I'm very much anticipating, especially with not just blind faith, but with all the development that's been going into XCN, all the usage that's been going into XCN. I just don't see. There's no other scenario, my friends. There's no other scenario than the sky. So we'll see you there. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Okay, take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.